Hello, my name is Sullivan Abeg, and I worked in Debian 11 in the CPXV second round. This occurred on November 3rd, 2023. I'm a part of the Cyberpunks team, and my group mates include Dylan Bellinger, Alex Thornton, and Kyle Rocco. So, for the user management on your system, to make sure that your network is secure, you want to make sure that all non-affiliated individuals do not have access to your data. This is because it can cause security breaches in which your competitors get access to your crucial information. This could include research data that you don't want them getting because you just made a breakthrough and now everyone has that breakthrough, but you just want that for yourself. Another thing that these authorized users can do is they can install malware onto your system. And what this can do is it can make your system unusable and locked. And another thing that malware can do is it can steal your data and credentials, and the hacker can have access to it. This is not good because this can give them access to like everything about your business. It can give them company cards. It can give them access to your bank information. You just do not want that to happen. So to do this, we removed unauthorized user U, and we removed unauthorized user Zal. Another way to secure your network is to make sure your regular users don't have access to admin privileges. Regular users with admin privileges become targets to hackers, and this is because they know, oh, these regular users, all I need to do, hack them, and then I have access to the whole system because they already have admin access and privileges. And another risk is these users, even though they might not be necessarily malicious in their intent, they could accidentally do something to the system that can cause permanent changes that you might have to do a whole wipe to fix, and they won't know it because they're not really IT professionals. If you think about it, like, yeah, he's just a typical worker and he's not really experienced in this. He could just like, okay, let me do an update for something. He doesn't look at the changes, and boom, you guys have to restart your whole system. So we removed user Hugh from admin privileges, and we removed user Pyenda from admin privileges. Okay. And another important thing to help manage your system is to make sure users with the same job or role are in the same group. This is important because this helps with like speed of information sharing, and it can help you get permissions to those people quicker, right? For example, typically admins are shared in the admin group. This is because we can give all the same privilege to them. We can just say everyone under admin has admin privileges, and these are what they're allowed to do, right? So it just makes everything more quick and streamlined, and it helps your workers be more productive. So we created the White Lotus group, and we added user iRobot to White Lotus, added user Booby to White Lotus, added user Zhang to White Lotus, added user Piendo to White Lotus, and added user Paku to White Lotus. Okay, so for password management, to further secure your network, it is necessary to make sure that all your users have strong password. This is important because weak passwords can allow hackers to easily hack into your account. And with weak passwords, hackers can even use brute force attacks where they basically just keep entering in passwords until they eventually get it. With stronger passwords, this makes it a lot harder. So, and the hackers that get into your system, they can put in malware into it, which, as covered before, they can use to steal your data. It can lock up and freeze your system, and they can steal info from your company in general, which just causes security leaks. So we changed Ira's insecure password to Buff Old Man with a little A there, and we changed Soka's insecure password to Boomerang, but with you see how it's typed. Okay. One important thing that you want to get rid of is anonymous login. This allows computers from out in the web to log into your FTP server. This is not good as it can allow hackers to more easily access your system. So you don't want like random users from like different networks accessing your system just because they have one of your users' IDs. This can allow easy security breaches, and you do not want this to happen. So FTP anonymous access disabled. So in your forensic question number 2, you asked us to find which 2 users cannot log into the FPT server. It is important that they're able to do this because it allows them to copy files to their home device, allowing them to get some work done at home. It also allows them to share information between themselves to make their job easier. And so without having access to this system, their productivity will significantly be hampered. So the 2 users that couldn't log in were Toph and Tho, and they could not log into the FTP server. Okay, so for software. Another thing that is important is to protect your software is to make sure you have a fireware installed and enabled. Firewalls are essential to any system. Firewalls act as a wall between internal network and outside internet. Firewalls make sure that Firewalls make sure that only regulated things get through and keep all unauthorized info and users out. So they're essentially like a security guard. They make sure that all good things come in, and then they keep all bad thing out, like a bouncer. Okay, so we enabled uncomplicated firewall, and this was already installed in your system. We just enabled it. To make sure your storage and reading speeds are best, it is essential to enable SSHD. An SSHD is a combination of an HDD, hard disk drive, and an SSD, a solid-state drive. The HDD focuses on storage, while the SSD focuses on processing speed. So to have the best of the both worlds, it is essential to have an SSHD, which can do both. This will help with making sure your processing speed is stable while allowing you to store significant amounts of data. So this will help your workers be more productive and will help them get their job done quicker. Enabled SSHD, that's one thing we did. Okay, so to make sure your system look cleaner and process better, it's important to get rid of all the background noise in the computer. Examples of background noise would be notifications about changes in minor things such as ping. This can cause lag spikes and crashes in your system. They can also slow your system down as well, which will hamper the productivity of your company. So we turned off broadcast ICMP echo requests. So turning that off basically just means when it was turned on, it's basically going to notify you when like ping shows up and stuff. And what all those notifications are going to do is it's going to add a lag to your computer because it's more processing power to generate those things. So while reviewing the incident report, we noticed some errors that we did not do in your system. The first thing that we noticed is we made a maximum age for passwords, but not a minimum for password length. Although we did do one of these, doing both of them would have made the system even more secure. So we only made a maximum length, as said before, but not a minimum. But if we made both, it would have made it even better. So this is good because if your password's stagnant for too long, it makes hackers have a very easy job because they basically have an infinite amount of time to guess the password, and they only need to break in one time to do a whole lot of damage. So it's important to switch it up. Another thing that we should have done is removed all non-work related material off your system. This is important because you don't want personal info on the computer taking up storage and room on the computer. This is important as storage space costs money, so you don't want their personal stuff costing your company money, right? So it's just important. You don't want them taking money out of your hands when they don't have to. And then another important thing is we should have installed Nmap. This is important as this software can help with discovering ports, host networks, operating systems, and more. And this allows the user to gather more info about the system that they are on, and this can help users find problems in the software and address them in the moment. So, yeah, that's why that's important right there. So we installed Nmap. So, thank you for letting us access your system and make changes according to our best ability. Thank you. Have a good day.